Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Rao and I'm joined by our team in Paris, S. Kanan, Boria Mujumdar and soon Abhijit Deshmukh will also join us, and of course Debashish Sen from Kolkata as well. Yesterday at the Olympics, we saw our shuttlers Laksha Sen and the duo Satvik and Chirag winning the first game of their draws. We also saw Manu Bhaker, the only Indian now to qualify for the finals in 10-meter air pistol, and who can forget Indian men's hockey team snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat. Lots to talk about today. Boria, over to you first. Let's start with badminton. How good do you think our shuttlers are looking right now?
They look good yesterday. They look good, but more importantly, what Satvik said was he's injury free. That he
Yeah.
played a game after a couple of months when he did not have a niggle, did not feel pain, did not feel some kind of discomfort. And that's what Satvik and Chirag both said to us at the end of the match. Uh, Chirag was very relaxed and said that they're taking it one game at a time. The crowd doesn't bother them. Satvik was his usual funny self, but he said that he was hungrier and that's why he was screaming more. He was screaming more, he was shouting more, he wanted to get into the rhythm. Watch the interview with Gopi Chand at 12 noon. Anybody who's watching this broadcast, it's an exclusive interview that was done after the match got over. Gopi and I, we walked out and we were chatting, and hear what he says about HS Pranoy. That was incredible. That Pranoy suffered chikungunya, came back, and just when he came back after chikungunya, and Gopi said, I don't know what happens to him and what God does to him. He said, I called Pranoy for a training session and he said, I've got 104 fever. This was 2 days after he had recovered from chikungunya. He had 104 fever. For him to come back after that and overcome that fever and now come to Paris is incredible. Incredible, just incredible. Laksha looked good the second game. I had a chat with Laksha after that. The second game, when he was down 16-20, he pushed himself and finished it 22-20. Incredible crowd, because in the next court the French were playing the Chinese, so the kind of vibrancy in that stadium was unbelievable. So all said and done, great outing for the good start for the badminton guys. Sindhu plays in what? Exactly 2 hours from now, not even 2 hours, 9:20 Paris time. And Kanan will be at tennis, but go to Kanan on Manu Bhaker. Go to Kanan on Manu Bhaker and Jaspal Rana. He's spoken to Jaspal yesterday.
Absolutely.
I've spoken to Ramkishan. So fingers crossed for Manu. Fingers crossed for Manu. Go to Kanan on Jaspal.
जसपाल ने हमसे बात नहीं किया, कन्नन से बात किया।
वो तो करेगा ही, तो तुम थोड़ी ना उसके साथ हर साल से बात कर रहे हो। कन्नन ने तो तुम्हारे जैसे ओलंपिक का पक्षी थोड़ी है, तुम आके ओलंपिक्स में बात करो।
कन्नन कितने क्लोज है जसपाल से, मैं वो बताना चाह रहा हूँ।
Yeah, when he was a teenager, I know him from them. If you are holding it against me, I'm sorry. I've known him only for 32 years.
Not holding against you. How close are you?
And
I don't. Are you with the shooters and the coaching as well?
The story is not about me. He speaks to me. He speaks to Rev Sports. It is not me. It is Rev Sports. I represent Rev Sports as long as I'm here. So he speaks to Rev Sports. Please treat it as like that. Whether it's you or me, it is you speaking to Rev Sports.
But Kanan, leave that. Tell us, what is he thinking? I mean, I'm sure you've spoken off the
Yeah,
record.
I have spoken to Jaspal. I have also chatted with Manu. She doesn't want to be out in public domain because there are restrictions. She doesn't want to say anything. Jaspal is very confident. He's saying it is not about, there is no revenge. It is not about Tokyo. Tokyo is forgotten. Tokyo to Paris, the journey has been very intense. The same Manu in Asian Games, Hangzhou, she was alone, desolate. When other shooters were winning medals, she didn't have any one medal except a team medal. You look at this transformation, how it has happened. It has been a very systematic process. And they're totally head on shoulders. Nothing like going overboard, I'm in the final. So that is the mindset. As far as Jaspal goes, he's prepared for the final. All finals. We're talking about possible 3 finals. 10-meter air pistol is only 1 final. Then you have the mixed final. Then August, when Boria and I will go there, hopefully, for the 25-meter, the 3rd final. So they are prepared mentally and in every possible match scenario simulation for 3 finals. So this is what they're going in. And yesterday also, the 6th series, when there was a dip, it was not like she was shaky or anything. If she was shaky, it would have been like Elam Lil yesterday. It would have been like Babuta. One shot, 1 decimal and 6th place. So that is going to be the pressure today. They're handling it. They've got their full team on. And the most important, if you look at the body language of the athlete, it is totally relaxed, composed, calm. They've dealt with a lot of issues. Today, I will tell you, there have been even problems relating to food in some of the venues. The shooting venue, the players have been hungry when they're not getting food packets and all that. But that is no complaint. You have to handle every condition. The coach is there. Coach doesn't have access. Let me go on air and say it today. He doesn't have a ticket for the final today. There are two other agencies trying to get him a ticket for the final today. Can you imagine? His card was cleared by IOA. NRA has not got him a ticket for the final, and he's written to them 5 days ago. So he's trying to get it. He'll get it through the good offices of IOA. They're trying. The card will be upgraded, so he needs to be there. He needs to be there, and he has also prepared her for a mental situation. He's not there where she turns. She does not find him because he cannot sit behind her in the chair in the final because he's not a national coach. He's a personal coach. So there's a big difference. So all this matters, but she's mentally ready for all this because this is what it has been the case right through her training for the last 1 year plus, right through the phase of, the 4 Olympic trials, even going abroad for competition. It's only in the last 6-7 weeks that he's been there physically for competition. So mentally she's ready, emotionally she's ready. She will take it as it comes. For someone who wanted to give up shooting, he's told her, no, hang on, you have to do it. And the best part I like is she says, I know the pressure is from all the people in India who are praying for me, wishing me. So that is the attitude, spirit. Nobody is talking about it is my medal. Wanting to do it for India, that is what the moment is, enjoying that feeling. We're not too far from August 15th. If you go back to 2016 Olympics, Deepa Karmakar, August 14, what she did. That is what they're trying. They're trying very, very hard. It's very easy to be harsh and critical. Even I wrote a piece on trying to decode what happened in the mixed yesterday. It is so tough. It is so tough. One decimal, one bad shot. Arjun Babuta is a brilliant shooter. One shot goes, it's like you're a fighter pilot in mid-air. One error and that MiG-21 is going to crash or that Rafale is going to crash, despite all the automation. So this is a human element. You're not a Chinese. You're trying to be Chinese. But to reach that mindset takes enormous effort. They're trying very hard. And today, if she doesn't win a medal, I am not going to be upset about it. There's still 2 more chances. Don't forget, this is just her second Olympics. People have waited till third Olympics. I think you've seen all the interviews of Abhinav Bindra in Rev Sports. You've seen all the interviews of Gagan Narang, which we've done recently. How much it takes. And last but not the least, when was the last woman who made an Olympic final in the Olympics? My mind goes back to 2000, Anjali Bhagwat in Sydney. Next, 20 years ago, Suma Shirur. History has already been made, but we cry for the medal, and we will cry today, win or lose. At least I will.
Abhijit, your thoughts on, of course, give us your thoughts on Manu Bhaker as well. But Sachi, Laksha, how do you think they're looking before we head to, hockey?
I would suggest Gargi he talks about shooting because he's there. He's actually in Chateauroux. He
Yeah.
Yeah,
watched.
he was sitting with Jaspal. You should need to ask him because he has observed and written closely on what was Jaspal doing, which was very nice to read.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
it was an excellent piece. And he was standing behind. In fact, when the mixed zone was happening for the mixed air rifle, I actually called Abhijit and said, go to the pistol range.
yeah.
Go stand behind the athlete. Observe what is going on. See the body language because you get a lot there. So ask him about that.
Yeah, so before the pistol event started to Homnagar, Jaspal actually came preparing with a tripod and a camera, and he wanted to shoot how Manu Bhaker will be doing it because it's for the training purpose. Unfortunately, he wasn't allowed to do that thing. There's restrictions, so Jaspal said, okay, fine, no problem. But he was standing at the same position for the complete 75 minutes, more than 75 minutes. He was constantly signaling Manu Bhaker, and they were not talking like they were just signaling. So he was saying like, okay, calm down, breathe in, breathe out, some kind of thing. Uh, at a certain position, he was saying, aram se, this, the sign of like this, aram se. And then, and Manu Bhaker, when she started, the first 4 minutes, she didn't had a single shot. But I remember that's her style. She takes her time, but when she starts it starts with a bang. And the first six shots, she had 5-10 points, 5-10x. So you can imagine how fantastic she started. And when last 5 minutes were left, she had three shots, and then Jaspal was winning the So, and she completed her shots, and so it was incredible to see. And what I really liked about Manu was she was really calm and composed. At Tokyo, Altuve Bureda was also there. She lost 10 precious minutes in the qualification when her pistol got malfunction. She went here and there.
More,
She did
more,
try.
more, 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 more. Forget
Yeah,
that.
I
I
think
mean, 10 minutes. You think about it that, in fact, I was sitting right behind Manu in that Asahi shooting range in Tokyo. And all of a sudden, we see Manu stopped. And like, what is going on here? Then she comes out and walks close to 500 meters. So she left the range, and I absolutely can visualize it. Comes out, goes right out of the range to where the technical control was. There she goes, gets her gun checked. Had it been anyone else, Gargi, I can tell you, I'm getting an allergy, so pardon me, but anyone else would have collapsed. Would have
yep,
collapsed.
absolutely.
Manu showed incredible resilience, and that's something
And then
fantastic to see. So
he
it was
lost.
tremendous.
We didn't qualify that time by just a small margin, but it was a fantastic comeback. Just show how mentally fit she is, and how can she can take the pressure. Imagine you're going for exam, and your pen is not working. What will do? You get a panic. You don't have a backup pen. What will do? It was same kind of situation, and this is the Olympics, the biggest stage of her athlete careers. Incredible. But I think Manu has forgotten Tokyo, and what she's been doing. What I really liked about her yesterday was she was really calm and composed. She was having a लुल्लू ऐसा लग रहा था कि हाँ ठीक है हो जाएगा इवन हमको लग रहा था टेंशन कि 5 minutes में 3 shots we also get some tense but she went and good thing about Jaspal was like Manu when she qualified she had a small smile but Jaspal runner was just ठीक है this is just half
Abhijit,
the
I'll quickly tell you, you're talking about so much time. That is a good thing. When you have so much time for your last three shots, it shows about what is the speed she was shooting at. The main difference between Tokyo to now is how much she has worked on slow fire. Air pistol is a slow fire event. And this same perfecting the slow fire has helped her for sports pistol also. And again, in sports pistol, they are working in air, they are working on slow. You take your time. And in sports pistol, they are working on the rapid stage, which is called dueling. So they have worked on a complete, how to do it. And mixed, obviously, there has to be a rhythm, but the two different shooters, the
Karan,
male.
एक minute. Let's explain this to our viewers. Gargi, if you could get the screen back, let's explain this. What Kanan is talking about is interesting. Let's explain this a little bit more. What he's talking about in pistol, in air pistol, you have 60 shots because not everybody follows these sports closely. So 60 shots, you are given a certain sighting time where you fire warm ups. Then you get into short mode. Then you have a specific time frame. So what Abhijit is talking about, 5 minutes for three shots, plenty of time for an athlete like Manu. Let's be clear on it. 5 minutes is no mean time. People get under a minute, and that's when time pressure happens. Here you're talking about close to 2 minutes a shot. Enough. When it comes to sports pistol in Tokyo, every shot, because I had gone and checked her paper. In fact, it's still with me. Every time she was firing at 3 seconds, she was getting a tenner. Twice she fired at 1.7. 1.7 seconds she fired. Both times it was a 9. Or I think one was even an 8. So that is what sports are. That's what Kannan is talking about, by the way. That you get used to this, that the excitement is such. What is the difference between 3 seconds and 1.7 seconds? Tell me. It's basically 1 second. So it's gone. But even that 1 second for the athlete is enormous in that time frame where you get it right between a 9 and a 10. That's what he's trying to explain. Also, let us explain what is the final. Even experienced people will make mistakes that, okay, 60 shots. No, it's not 60 shots. You will take two series of 5 shots each, and by the way, it is not a tenner. Now today there will be decimals.
Either.
It will be 10.4, 10.5, 10.1, 10.2, whatever it is. So it will be two series of all the finalists. Thereafter, two more shots and elimination starts. So it will then go bottom up. After every two shots, one will get eliminated till the last two are remaining standing. And that's when the shot will happen between the gold and the silver. That's how the competition unfolds in shooting in a shoot. I mean, not all events, by the way. Huh? Not all events. So, for example, a 25 meter, it's a 6-person final, not an 8 people final. A pistol 10 meters or a rifle 10 meters is an eight athlete final. So these are important things for people who follow the sport. जो देख रहे हैं, जो देखेंगे, उनके लिए याद रखना चाहिए. So पहला सीरीज, दूसरा सीरीज, 2 शॉट, एलिमिनेशन, बॉटम अप, एक करके एथलीट एलिमिनेट होता जाएगा, और जब हो जाएगा अनाउंस होगा, वो टाई अप करेंगे, उसका गन वहां रखेंगे, पीछे चले जाएंगे. That's where they'll go in. That is how it happens. So follow the sport closely.
Last but not the least point, earlier the scores from the preliminary phase were taken. They used to add that score to the final score. No, now the whole emphasis is on making the final more exciting. So the final, where you start from zero. What happened yesterday is history. What happens today is present, and this is what is going to define. Yesterday she got into pressure. She was nervous. No, she was not nervous. Today she will come back. She has to start fresh. It is not like you went to the dressing room at 98, come out and score 100 tomorrow and raise your bat, you scored a century. Today you're starting from zero, and this to be the best there. To be the best there and then not get eliminated, it's going to be much, much faster. Though it looks like 5-second series and all this technical, it is whatever it has been explained by Burya, that is how it goes. And you will hear in the commentary the call coming. How is it? So you will see in real time, it's almost like a nerve match. Who is the fittest in terms of technique, strategy, and also who can absorb the pressure. That is what we are going to see today. And when you see the mixed, obviously it will be, we had a sample of mixed yesterday. Whether it was 11L, whether it was Babuta on the other side, whether it was Ramita, we saw how they managed scope. I mean, I'll still say that the 6th place finish was not bad. It was just a minor margin. So this is what you will see from Manu again in 2 days.
Kanan, just to add, absolutely, the 6th place finish, don't just look at the 6th place finish. It was one series from Arjun. That was the difference.
One bad shot. One shot made the difference.
106.2 in the second series. He got 103.9 in the third series. That's it. Had he got 105 in the third series, India was in medal.
Yes, 100%.
That is it. It is one shot that you're talking about. One shot. I was having a long chat with Kalikesh after that, and exactly this. That look, a difference between an Olympic medal is a decimal. The same chap had shot 106.2 in the second series. The same chap shot 103.9. Had you asked me after the second series when Babuta had shot 106, I would have said 105 is coming. Because if you remember on our show yesterday, what was my prediction? 632. What was the first team? 632. Because when you watch sport every single day and you try and understand, okay, this is what it is, you have an idea that, okay, an Olympic stage, so far, 577 for Sarabjot is the lowest qualification mark I have seen in a long time. That anybody can qualify less than 580 in an Olympic final is surprise to me. But it happened. Pressure, range, conditions, who knows? But all of these things taken together. And what Kannan said about scores carrying, go tell Jaideep Karmakar. If Jaideep Karmakar had this rule in 2012, he was a medal, because his score was 595 and eventually ended at 699 points. Final, only if you take the final, Jaideep was medaling. So that's how sport is. Sport is cruel, very cruel. And by the way, anyone who is writing off Arjun, Babuta, Ramita, Jindal, Sandeep, and this other fellow today, 11, for God's sake, don't do it. Because each one of them is a talented athlete in the 10-meter air rifle, and they have had incredible scoring. If they get it right today in the morning, if you ask me, I'm predicting one finalist in air rifle out of the 4. I'm actually predicting one finalist. After that, no one knows. I'm predicting one finalist from India as well.
I think this for reviewers, there is 10-meter air rifle men's and women's qualification today. The women's qualification will be slightly earlier, followed by for the men's, and then we have at 12 noon Paris time, which is 3:30 India time, the final for Manu.
Yes, Debashish, before we start I mean, continue in English again. Why don't you take over Bangla for a little bit?
ফুটবলের
অবশ্যই বড়িদা
ফুটবলের আপডেট গুলো একটু দিয়ে দিস, বিকজ ইউ বিন কাভারিং ইট।
অবশ্যই দর্শকদের এটাই জানাই যায় যে সবাই আমরা তাকিয়ে থাকবো মনু ভাকারের মেডেলের জন্য, কেননা 2004-এ সুমা সুরুরের পর এই প্রথম, ইনফ্যাক্ট মহিলাদের কেউই জেতেনি অলিম্পিক্সে কোনো মেডেল, এবং মনু ভাকারই হচ্ছে প্রথম মহিলা যিনি যদি ইভেন্চুয়ালি যদি জিততে পারেন অলিম্পিক পদক, তিনি হবেন প্রথম শুটিং থেকে প্রথম ভারতীয় কোন মহিলা মেডেল জিততে। পড়িয়ে এটা কতটা রিয়েলিস্টিক চান্স আছে মনুর, বিশেষ করে যেটা কান্নন স্যার একটু আগে বললো যে ইউ হ্যাভ টু স্টার্ট ফ্রম অল দ্য ওয়ে ফ্রম জিরো। সুতরাং আবার সেই কনসেন্ট্রেশন করা, আবার সেই নিজেকে সেই সেরা নিজেকে সেই ফোকাসের জায়গায় নিয়ে যাওয়া, তুমি কি কতটা আশাবাদী মনুর মেডেল পাওয়ার ক্ষেত্রে?
60% চান্স, 60% চান্স। আই মিন 100%-এ যদি তুমি দেখো গতকালের ফর্ম, যদি তুমি যেটা কান্নান ইজ সেইং অ্যাবাউট দ্য মেন্টাল সর্ট অফ স্টেবিলিটি অ্যান্ড দ্য কাম কম্পোজড ব্যাপার যেটা উনি বলছেন, যদি সেটা হয় তাহলে 60% চান্স, উইচ ইজ অ্যাজ গুড অ্যাজ এনিওয়ান। ইনফ্যাক্ট ওই যে 8 জন, এভরিবডি হ্যাজ সিমিলার কাইন্ড অফ চান্সেস। এমন নয় যে মানুর আগে ওই যে দুজন শেষ করেছিল তাদের বেশি চান্স, নো, none of them. So all the 8 will start from the same lane and anyone has an equal chance as the other person. So 60% chance. Archery-te I am actually predicting a semi-final place. So Mohila archery, I am predicting a semi-final spot. I was having a long chat with Otanu Das today, trying to understand how Deepika is feeling. They are in a very good shape. Deepika, Ankita এবং ভাজান। সো তিনজনই যথেষ্ট মানসিকভাবে স্টেবল। যদি সেমিফাইনালে দেখো কোরিয়ার বিরুদ্ধে পড়বে, কোরিয়ার বিরুদ্ধে আমি ধরে নেব যে আমরা আন্ডারডগ, বাট তারপরে যে ব্রঞ্জ মেডেল প্লে অফটা, আজকে আর্চারি থেকে মেডেল আসার চান্স যদি আমরা সেমিফাইনালে উঠি, প্রভূত চান্স, প্রভূত চান্স। সো অন আ সানডে ফর অ্যান ইন্ডিয়ান মেডেল is a very realistic chance today, but let us not jump the gun. Let us wait and see finally what happens. But যেটা আমরা সবাই বলছি, চান্স এবং এফর্ট সেটা কিন্তু আছে। অ্যাথলিটদের সঙ্গে থাকুন, অ্যাথলিটদের সঙ্গে থাকুন। দিস ইজ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ডস গ্রেটেস্ট স্টেজ। সো সেই জিনিসটা মাথায় রাখবেন। আর যেটা দেবাশিস বারবারই জিজ্ঞেস করছেন আমায়, মানুর ক্ষেত্রে যথেষ্ট চান্স আছে।
অবশ্যই অবশ্যই আমরা অলিম্পিক্স নিয়ে আলোচনার আগে একটা খবর দিয়ে দিই, যেহেতু আলোচনাটা যেহেতু সাময়িক বাংলায় হচ্ছে। আজকে সকালেই কিন্তু মোহনবাগানের নবনিযুক্ত কোচ হোসে মলিনা এবং তার 3 সহকারীকে নিয়ে কলকাতায় পা রেখেছেন। রাতেই চলে আসছেন জেমি ম্যাকলারেন এবং আরো গভীর রাতে চলে আসছে অ্যালবার্টো রড্রিগেজ। সুতরাং মোহনবাগানের বেশিরভাগ বিদেশি চলে আসছে, যদিও ডিমি পেট্রোটোসের আস্তে আস্তে সেকেন্ড উইক হতে পারে অগস্টে। এবং আগামীকাল অর্থাৎ 29শে জুলাই মোহনবাগান দিবসের সকালেই কিন্তু অনুশীলনে নেমে পড়বেন মলিনা তার প্রথম সারির দল নিয়ে। সুতরাং এবং কালকে অনুশীলনটা ঘিরে কিন্তু প্রভূত আগ্রহ আছে মোহনবাগান সমর্থকদের মধ্যে, এবং একটা এবং দর্শকদের জন্য একটা সব থেকে ভালো জিনিস হচ্ছে দর্শকদের জন্য প্রবেশাধিকার থাকবে। কালকে পুরো মোহনবাগান মাঠ ভরে গেলে অবাক হবার থাকবে না, কেননা সকালবেলা যে সকাল 9টার সময় যে অনুশীলন, সেই অনুশীলনটা দেখার জন্য কিন্তু মোহনবাগান স্টেডিয়ামের দর্শকদের প্রবেশাধিকার থাকবে। যেরকমটি ইউরোপে হয়, কোনো প্লেয়ারকে যখন প্রেজেন্ট করা হয় একটা ফুল স্টেডিয়াম দর্শকদের অ্যালাউ করা হয়, সেরকমই একটা চিত্র আমরা দেখতে পারি। তো বড়দা, এরকম অভিনবত্ব কিন্তু খুব একটা সচরাচর দেখা যায় না, যেটা এই মরশুমে প্রায় দেখা যাচ্ছে। জিকসনকে দেখেছি এবং এখন আমরা মলিনাদের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা দেখতে পাবো।
And it is a good sign. Before we get back to English, it is a very good sign. আমাদের ফুটবল নিয়ে উন্মাদনাটা বাড়ছে, সেটা আমরা এই ট্রান্সফার উইন্ডোতে বারবার দেখেছি। অ্যান্ড বাই দ্য ওয়ে, এটা জানিয়ে রাখি, আমরা কিন্তু রেভ স্পোর্টসে মলিনার আসার দিন, ম্যাকলারেনের আসার দিন বহুদিন আগে থেকে বলে দিচ্ছি। দেবাশিসও জানে 28 তারিখে যে আসবেন, কখন আসবেন আমরা সব জানিয়ে দিয়েছিলাম। ব্রেক করে 7 দিন আগে বলে দিয়েছিলাম জেমি ম্যাকলারেনের ভিসা প্রসেস চলছে, 28 তারিখ পৌঁছে যাবেন, রাত্রি 10টায় তিনি পৌঁছে যাবেন। মলিনা অলরেডি পৌঁছে গেছেন। Gargi, if you can go up, there is a comment by somebody, Amitav. This is exactly what I want to address and why Indians go wrong. Can you get that comment up? And I'm not being critical of Amitav. I'm just trying to understand why Indians behave like this. This is important. This is a comment Just a little bit up. Go up and get me this comment. Amitabh Sen. Get me this comment on screen. He says morning shows the day. Realistically, just two medal prospects. Swastik and Chirag. It is not Swastik and Chirag, it is Satvik and Chirag. And Neeraj Chopra. That is it. Hope I am proven wrong. Other countries are winning medals galore. Humiliation begins. Amitabh, with due respect to you, you know nothing. That is the reality. I am sorry, this is a public show, so I cannot be further critical. But all I am trying to say is be little bit respectful of your athletes who's made the Olympics. Manu Bhaker has not promised you that she has to win a medal. You have not paid for Manu Bhaker. You have not paid for anybody who has come to the Olympics or has made it here. They are one in a billion. You know, এক বিলিয়নে একটা হয়, একটা, and that's how they have come. Humiliation begins, and Olympic sixth position is humiliation for you. For me, it is a matter of pride. So there is a difference here. Sarabjot Singh, who loses on count because of that one less inner 10, one less. By the way, Gagan's case was different. Gagan's case was count back. This is inner 10. Now, because 577 was qualification, he has got 16 inner 10s. The German chap got 17. If you think this is humiliation, Amitabh Sen, then I don't think you have any understanding of sport and more Olympic sport. ভাই ক্রিকেট দেখো, ব্যাট বল খেলবে, মারবে, চার ছক্কা হবে, বুঝে যাবে তুমি। অলিম্পিক স্পোর্টে কিচ্ছু বোঝো না। সো একটু একটু সেন্সিটিভিটির জায়গা তৈরি করো, একটু তৈরি করো। আর 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 ইনার 10 এর ডিফারেন্স কত জানো? ডিফারেন্স difference between an inner 10 and a normal 10 is the tip of one strand of hair. Yesterday I made Gargi do it. Tip of one strand of hair. সাধারণ চোখে দেখতেই পাবে না. It is a microscopic millimeter kind of dot. That is the difference between an Olympic final and ninth. And that is why this guy Sarabjot collapsed yesterday literally and was crying. So kindly show empathy. On our show, we will be with athletes come what may. I don't care. I don't care. Rev Sports will be with Indian athletes come what may. Good or bad. এই যে আমি শুনি না that 1 billion people and 2 medals. This is the biggest joke that I ever hear. Out of the 1 billion, 999 million 5 whatever doesn't have access to sport. Do not compare India with a developed country. আমাদের দেশে ফর দ্য ল্যাক অফ আ বেটার ওয়ার্ড ট্রেনে করে যেতে গিয়ে এখনো আপনি লোককে বাইরে দেখেন যারা মাঠে ঘাটে বাথরুম ইউজ করতে হয়। that is still the reality in rural India, that people have to pee and people have to do their bio requirements in public open. That is India. How many of these people have access to sporting facilities? You tell me. In Britain, in France, in the developed West, in the United States, in Australia, in Canada, the countries that you're saying are winning medals galore, go check the sporting facilities. It outside our hotel, ask Kannan, there is a sports park that I don't even think one exists in Calcutta. That's how India is. So it is a huge change that is currently happening, where we are trying to become a sporting nation. And all I will expect our viewers to be empathetic, sensitive, and caring about the athletes and every administrator who is trying to put this together. Satvik tells me there is recovery in the village where the IOA has made incredible facilities. Praise them. It is very easy to be sensationalist and critical, like there are several other tucks in the world and sports platforms and Yaris and X and Y who know jack about sport. So kindly be sensitive to our athletes and their requirements, because unless you do that, you will never get anything about Olympic sport.
Well, leaving this behind and moving on to hockey now. Abhijit and Kanan, if I ask you, the Indian hockey team did end up with a win, but do you think they were not their best yesterday?
No, again, first match, you don't expect to be the best. I have read all the comments of, lucky to win, this is glaring, that is glaring. Oh, come on, yeah, you're playing an Olympic match. First match in the Olympics, you're coming in here with the reputation of having won a bronze medal in Tokyo. There will be ups and downs. If you think New Zealand is some Killer Raipur games or they're playing some Punjab state team or Haryana team, no. New Zealand is a sporting nation. Fine, I can understand that rugby is their passion, rugby is the main sport. But anyone who has qualified for the hockey program in the Olympics, they are not weak. I know that, if you're looking at trans-Tasman rivalry, in cricket, Australia versus New Zealand, maybe New Zealand is not up there in hockey, but no. In the past, if you go, Argentina used to be a thorn in the flesh for India. So New Zealand, you have beaten New Zealand. To beat New Zealand is important. Look at the positive. Don't look at the negative. If the result was a loss, I can understand. You have started with a win. That is the most important thing. And don't forget, Srijesh himself has said, this is a wake-up call. Please read what he has said. That means the Indian team is not celebrating. They know what went wrong and they will analyze. They'll go back to the drawing board. The enough visuals, they will capture it and they will see the recording. And then they will plan for the next match. But when you get negative, then don't watch. If you're so negative, don't watch. You have won a match. And I want to add one point. And I was not there at the badminton, but I will talk about Sindhu, the training, the fitness, the recovery. She's had 2 episodes, 2022 Birmingham, then next again last year. How many months she was asked not even to put weight on her feet. Thanks to one, sports organization, along with the government of India ministry. She has a personal trainer whom I know personally. She's the head of the OGQ. She's my friend. I chat with her. I can't quote her. I asked her only one question. What is the fitness level of Sindhu? Is it as good as before? I got one reply, 100%. When a trainer, strength conditioning expert says 100%, and what Boria said yesterday about Prakash Padukone, this is what you need. The athlete is fit. We talked about the badminton. Does one have a niggle? I'm seeing athletes here without niggle. Nobody is lying and coming here. It is like, Indian cricketers go to get NCA and assess. No, that is just a different here. Everybody is assessing how you are coping with the situation daily, physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything is being provided. Nobody here has come for sightseeing Eiffel Tower or Trocadero or Seine River. They probably haven't even seen it. Only those who went for
They
the
will not. And they will not. They will go back within a day of the event.
I'll tell you.
Nobody has come to France to see. Prakash Padukone on record tells Rev Sports, quote, Sindhu is ready. She's a contender. 3 counts, mental, physical, shot selection, up there. Prakash Padukone is one of the greatest to have graced our sport. Yesterday, Gopi confirmed it on record. Watch the interview at 12. He says, on current form and fitness, Sindhu should take out Hee Bingjao. What more do you want? She's ready. Satvik and Chirag is ready. We saw it. Prannoy, what a story. Laksha is ready. I really want every viewer to back our athletes, boss. Please, for God's sake. It's a request.
I just like to add here one thing. I was there at the opening ceremony, Krishna and I, and then, at Trocadero, once the parade what happened, most of the athletes were coming to Trocadero. Sindhu, Sharat Kamal, and several other athletes didn't come there because they know time, sleep, how important is that. So they didn't come there because we saw how Zidane passed over the torch, Olympic torch to Nadal. They left Trocadero way before that. As soon as the parade had over, they went to the Olympic Village. That shows how important time and sleep and everything matters for us. So because she was the flag bearer, I think that's one of the reasons why she was there. Incredible to PV Sindhu as well. These small things that show how important things are.
Abhijit, just to clarify this, had it been that she was playing yesterday, she would have refused the flag bearer. Trust me, because she was not playing yesterday, she had 1 day recovery time. Because we have seen in the past, I don't want to name athletes. In fact, Ranan mentioned an athlete here. Torch and all that is fine. Had it been within 12 hours that she was playing or he was playing, they would have refused. You did not see a single shooter come. They wouldn't. It is a professional unit in India. Sleep pods. Yesterday, Chirag was asked that, are you using the sleep pods? He said, yes, because if I can't sleep at night, I come and use the sleep pod to get it right. Boss, this is a scientific India. I'm putting this on record. Yesterday, Mukesh Ambani and I had a close to half an hour chat. And Mukesh Bhai was asking me, "Kya lag raha hai? Kitna medal? What do you think? This that." And then he said, "Tell me, you follow Olympic sport like mad. What does it take to go from 10 to 70?" And I was totally taken aback. I said, "What?" He said, "What does it take to go from 10 to 70?" There was Akash Ambani there was Jay Shah there, the BCCI secretary. The four of us were chatting. So Jay actually said that we will add two medals, and Jay was hugely passionate, and I'm putting it on record. Jay was hugely passionate, and he said we will add two medals from cricket in 28, women's and men's, rightly. And he said, "Yeah, दो gold भी आ सकते हैं." And we were talking about the World Cup. That's when Mukesh Bhai asked, 10 to 70 जाने में क्या करना चाहिए ये बताओ. If we are actually expecting to host 2036, we must target that. Whatever we can do, you tell us, we will do it. This is a new India, boss. This is a new India which wants to do, which actually wants to do. A Mukesh Ambani, a Parth Jindal, whatever the corporate class of India, who are the world's leading corporate class. They are hell bent on doing it now. The government, the top scheme. Ask Kanan how much effort the top scheme and the Mission Olympic cell has put. How much the athletes have benefited as a result of the top scheme. People keep complaining, saying, यहाँ नहीं होता है, वहाँ नहीं होता है. इनको कुछ पता ही नहीं है यार. Uh, that what blame the government, blame everybody. That is the
Crores
easiest.
of have been spent by top India athletes. Crores. There's so many, all the stats are out there on the internet. Just people can go out there and check how much of top scheme has benefited. Everything has been crores has been spent.
So we'll take a final super chat. Gaurav Dharmik here is asking, Boria, what do you think Crasto and Ponappa straight lose?
Yes, I mean, and they were playing the Koreans. If you check the first game, it was 21-18 and was close. Had they been able to pull that off at that one point in time, they had four straight points. It was a 6 pointer difference. Ashwini and Tanisha, firstly, the fact that they've been able to make the Olympics. Had you asked me 1 year back that Ashwini and Tanisha will make the Olympics, I would have said I'll jump from the rooftop. That is how it is. And then when Ashwini and Tanisha make the Olympics, it is a Herculean effort. But they have a chance against Shida and Matsuyama. If they are able to take out the Japanese, they need to pull out one big match. Yesterday, the Koreans, they weren't able to. They need to pull out one big match. I'm banking on them. They'll go all out. Nobody expects a medal from Ashwini and Tanisha. You expect them to go all out and give it their best, and you want them to do that against the Japanese pair. Fingers crossed for them. Fingers crossed for them. Tanisha has to be her aggressive best and Ashwini her calm self. I still think they're a good pair, but they've already exceeded expectations by making the Olympic Games.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think we've discussed pretty much everything. But there's a lot coming today when it comes to the Olympics. So stay tuned to Rev Sports. We'll be bringing you all the updates. You're on mute, Boria.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me give the schedule of Rev Sports. So Abhijit and Rohan are in Chateau. Devashish, Gargi, Ishan, our entire backend team in India will put out real-time updates. Rahul, Snehashish, the whole team. They've been on the money. Kannan and I will track shooting, and Kannan will go to Roland Garros. I will go to archery. Uh, Trisha will go to boxing. Shormishta will go to some other venue. So every venue, badminton, Prannoy. So every venue, every story, every update on Rev Sports from across Paris, with all our reporters, with all of us continuously being on the button. That's how our Olympics coverage will happen.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for all those